What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy, Go Black to Africa. I want to share this with you all. This is information for you all to going to see how these old maps, how these books reference these places of where we see in the Bible that they have said is in that land called Israel. Now, these go back to the 1400s, 1500s, and even some books written by some of the European writers who will depict about who people are and who happen to be, they're talking about Africans and all that right there. But I do this right here. Give credit to Bishop Nathaniel, who is with the Israelite was it the IUCI? But it's the Israelites, and I can't remember the Israelites United in Christ. That's who it is. I got so many different names in my head, but anyway, he is going to show first segment of what these maps in this book show, and then it's going to get into another segment that you're going to see where it just goes on. This is a 2-hour thing, so in your liberty of the day, please, this will be ran, and you're going to see, for those who know scripture and for those who knows history, see how this information refutes. A lot of it's showing the maps of Africa, these names that so many of us are so accustomed to that they don't exist for most part. In some places they do exist, these names. I remember when I was in Ghana and, I saw some names that were familiar that was in the Bible. And I remember taking a stop and taking a picture of one of them. But, we know that in the past, names have been changed. We know whether it's rivers, mountains, we see that in Africa, Lake Victoria, the people there that is in Uganda will tell you what's the actual African name and original name. You got countries like we know that the Berlin Conference, that they went and cut up Africa and named the names that we see today did not exist, but old maps show how broad Ethiopia was, how broad Nubia was, Egypt was, not until when the Europeans came in, they sliced and diced and gave these countries names. And those original ones like Ethiopia, they carved it or cut it down smaller so these countries can go ahead and share. So I'm going to get into this right here. This right here, at your leisure, please, by all means, you can scroll, rewind, go forward. It's a plethora of information that is going to refute where these locations that we know of today, where they actually existed in the 1400s, as far as old as the maps go. And people put a lot of work into this. So let's get into this right now. Let me share my screen. Again, I might pop in and out here to say something, but let me share my screen. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that this is cool. Make sure I'm gonna look at my phone here, and then we can go from there. Please let me know if you can hear. And let me put this on full screen. Okay. I'm watching this right here. Let me put this on the comments so I can make sure I can read what you all are saying. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to each and every one of you all. Do yourself a favor. Sit back, relax, and let this sink in. Don't judge. You just take this for the knowledge you have and see what's the deal when it comes to who's Israelites, who's Jews, and these old maps that were placed. Check it out and enjoy it.
You see Spain there? All right, I want you to look at the borders of Africa. There's Arabia. Let me just come in closer. All right. There's Somaliland. This is the Horn of Africa. Ethiopia, called Abyssinia at this time. I want you to notice where they got the Jews located at. There's the Philosophes there. Look over here, Yemen Jews. That's in Arabia. But I want to focus on Africa. All right. Taliban Jews, a pre-exilic Yahwism. That's for those that follow Yahweh. All right. Let's move over. We'll go down to the bottom. Look. Loando Jews. This is on the coast of Africa. All right. Mavumbu Jews. Look. This is what I was just showing you in the other books. San Tome Jews. Remember the Jews were cast out of Spain and sent to San Tome or St. Thomas. That's that island right there. All right. Look, Levite cities. Where amongst the houses? You know, a lot of you Nigerians, you hate the houses. It's Cameroons. Levite cities over here. This is Nigeria. See? Nigeria. Nigeria. You got Levite cities there. Houses. Levite cities. Beni Ephraim. Sons of Ephraim. Beni means, or Benai means sons of Ephraim. Okay? Dahomey Jews. Jewish traces all amongst the Ashanti. Judeo-paganism. So these Israelites here were following pagan customs around Cape Verde and Senegambia. The Lamb, once a Jewish colony, Timbuktu. Let's go around here. Medieval Jewish kingdom. Jewish kingdom of Granada. Let me go down. Let me find some of these words. Let me look. Let me go up along the coast. I'm going to follow the coastline. Beni Musa, sons of Moses. Now, it's hard for me to see. Y'all know I wear glasses, but if y'all at home, y'all could spot some of this stuff before I do. Berber Jews. Black Jews. And I want y'all to see this because this is what these so-called scholars put together. The Jews were cast out of Spain. Remember that history I've been showing y'all for a while. My eyesight ain't that good, but I'm just showing y'all this map. So if y'all see something, y'all can freeze screen it. Freeze the screen! Israel immigrates here. Look at that. To Arabia. That's Arabia right there. Jewish traces. What's that say? Wasambara? Yemen Jews and Philosophes, Berber, Moorish, and Negro Jews. So the white man knows the blacks are the Israelites. They know that. They keep this stuff hidden from us. Africa being an accurate description of the regions of Egypt, Barbary, Libya, and Bildergerd, the land of Negroes, Guinea, Ethiopia, and the Abyssinians. Abyssinia, that's Ethiopia. All right. This was published in 1670. Africa being an accurate description of the regions of Egypt, Barbary, Libya, and Bildergerd, the land of Negroes, Guinea, Ethiopia, and the Abyssinians, that's Ethiopia. Published in 1670. 1670. Let's go in. All right. I'm on page 34. Well, that's the original page, but in this book it's on 31. All right. I'm going to start here. Many Jews also are scattered over this region, some natives boasting themselves of Abraham's seed. It's talking about Africa. Let's see the title, Africa. Many Jews also are scattered over this region. What region? Africa. Some natives boasting themselves of Abraham's seed, inhabiting both sides the river Niger or Niger. Others are Asian strangers who fled thither either from the desolation of Jerusalem by Vespasian at 70 AD, or from Judea, wasted and depopulated by the Romans, Persians, Saracens, that's Muslims, and Christians, or else such as came out of Europe, whence they were banished. So in referring to those Jews, those black Jews that were banished, those Jews that were keeping the commandments that were banished. Not all the blacks, but the ones keeping the commandments. Out of some, they were banished where from where? Out of some parts of Italy in the year 1342, out of Spain in the year 1462, out of the Low Countries, that's the Netherlands, in 1350, out of France in 1403, out of England in 1422. These all differ in habit and are divided into several tribes, having no dominion, though both wealthy and numerous, but despised of all nations, and so abominated by the Turks that they are not admitted to be Mohammedans unless first baptized, and then no otherwise made use of than to receive their customs and gather in their taxes. Here's the next book, Pictorial History of Israel.
Please check out these names here.
Let's go inside. Take a look.
Check out
Unto thy seed.
Check out the author's
What do y'all see? You see black Jews, black Israelites working in ancient Egypt. Let's see where this is from. This mural depicting Israel's bondage in Egypt was found in the Theban tomb of Rekhmir, governor and vizier at the time of Thutmose III, about 1450 BCE. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. Exodus chapter 1, verse 13 and 14. What color are these Israelites? What color are they? Well, I'm going to ask you again. Can somebody ask T.D. Jakes what color are the real original Hebrews? What color are the Hebrew Israelites there? This is ancient artifacts, ancient black. They are painted as black in the tombs. See, this history has been hidden, and T.D. Jakes, if he knows of it and decides not to teach it, he's the devil, a black, ashy devil the Bible speaks of. And all you in his congregation, y'all gonna be damned to hell and back. Every last one of you that follow him. Keep up with these lies. All right, here's Harper's Bible Dictionary. I'm going to page 334. Bear with me a second. No, you know what? Before I get there, watch this. This is page 331. In 701 BC, Assyrian king Sennacherib conquered most of Judah, including the fortress city of Lachish. The victory was recorded in remarkable detail on bas reliefs at his Nineveh palace. This scene is poignant testimony to the plight of his victims, who were deported with only what they could carry on their backs. What does it say? Let's take a look at Judah. Do y'all see this? This is the Sennacherib guard. Look at the people of Judah. Look at their hair. Look at their hair. This is a stone relief. Look at the little boy. These are not Caucasians. These are not Edomites. These are black men with cornrows. Turn over. All right. 2A, I'm going to look at picture 1, picture 2A and 2B. Fresco paintings from the western wall of the 3rd century AD synagogues at Dura Europus, a city on the Euphrates River in Syria. Let's see. All right, let me see who we're going to look at. Bear with me a second. At the right, 2B depicts Moses 3 times. From far right to left, Moses strides toward the Red Sea with staff upraised, leading the ancient Israelites out of Egypt. Let's see what Moses and the ancient Israelites look like. Bam. There's Moses. There's Moses there. Remember, I said it depicts him 3 times. Moses here, and Moses here. Take a look. And the Egyptians are being drowned in the waters. The Egyptians are black. Moses is black. The hand of God is black. That's Aaron. Is menorah. Moses and the 12 tribes of Israel. Moses again. Moses with the staff held over his head, and the Egyptians being drowned in the Red Sea. Do y'all see this? So again, if y'all keep following that Lying TD Thomas Dexter Jakes, I can't help you. He jumping around cooling, talking about he know who he is. He don't know who he is, and neither does his congregation. The Israelites are black. Moses is black. The hand of God is black.
Okay, real quick, let me pause and let me come back to you all right here. So we're going to get right here into, we're going to get back right here into the next segment. Now, this is very lengthy. So at your leisure, you can go ahead and just, come back to it later, what have you. It's about 2 hours long, but it's a plethora of information that is going to walk you through the different contradictions, the maps, scriptures that talk about animals. Where do you find these animals at? It's information for you to add to your library and for you now to weigh it all out. You've already seen the first segment from Bishop Nathaniel showing that first map of all through Africa, all these sightings from these old maps that show these location of Levites, the different Jews and these different names that were on the maps. This right here, these maps are going to show towns. They're going to show different locations. So stay with this right here. Like I said, this will be running for a while. Look at my battery. Okay, we're good on that. I can charge if I have to. But yeah, stick with it. Somebody asked, how can they donate to this channel or give to this channel? Share the video. I don't need the money. How many times you hear that? I don't need the support. Only support I need is for you to share the information with somebody. Share the information, the video, okay? That's how you can contribute to Go Black to Africa. I do everything on my own dime because I don't want people thinking that I am begging for money or wanting money or what have you. There's people who donate. I can't stop people from donating because they say that I'm on a journey that they could never take. But I don't ask for money, don't need money. Only thing I need is for people to go ahead, share the message, y'all. Share the video. And then even though people who will stand, if whether they Christians or read for the Bible, whether they are Muslims, this would be good for Muslims. This would be good for anybody of any walk of faith, because this is the world's most sold book around the globe. This book has government sitting on it. This book has black folks thinking that they ain't even on the playing field. This Bible has people believing that where they created Israel in 1948, that is a place that they believe that they has been in existence forever. But when you really connect the dots on the information, that's why I say you gotta get out of your hometown to find the truth. We were all indoctrinated by the school we went to, by the books they put in front of us to read stories and histories, and we never saw our faces in any of them. Never. And so my thing is that we got people doing the legwork. I'm going to be going over here to Greece and Rome here probably in the beginning of next year, so I can go into their libraries, so I can be there live and show y'all what they say in their books. Because if we keep standing still and not venturing out, which so many brothers and sisters now, they speak they speak the Hebrew. They speak in these other languages. They're going into the Talmud, going into the Torah of what these European Jews read out of and finding the truth. So it behooves you to at least, I ain't trying to get nobody to follow me. I told y'all before, I don't belong no group. I belong to the Most High. I don't put names on myself. That's the only one I follow. But I will connect with those who are in like spirit for a people to rise up, be in right standing, get out of this garbage world that we in, and sitting here and allowing our youth to become even much more wicked by following a European Western mindset, and yet we are chosen the originals who should be the example for the world. So let me get into this right here, family. Um, no, let me say this right here. Somebody said, does the Most High have black flesh and blood? No, look, I don't agree with a lot of things a lot of people say. All right. God is a spirit. God is a spirit. Now, the Israelites, they make reference to the color of Christ, the color of God. They reference in Revelations when they say, when John saw the Spirit of God on the throne, it appeared to be emerald and sapphire, and I think it was emerald, whatever, which was a brown color, which they're referring to. That is the color of God. I don't get into that because when I say I don't get into that, I'm saying that the Spirit of God is so far beyond that. When we know the original of that is us, scientifically proven, then we know who was put here and had in mind of those that would be, if you want to say, the reflection or the image of, then you could say that. But I want to get to the concrete of the gist of these historical maps and writings that we didn't do, the Europeans did. They're the ones who went and collected the information as they travel around in Africa, writing down these old names and stuff that the Africans had. So this is what I'm saying, so that the picture will be painted to exactly who really are you. So let's get back into it, family. Just like I said, get your your popcorn and sit back and just gather some information, educate yourself. Okay. Please write down the person who did this map and the year and check it out. This is the map of Africa, and you can see to the right, this is the southern part of South Africa. And so they're pinpointing these areas: Rehoboth, Beersheba. G.W. Colton, 1886, when this map right here was put together. This is in Africa. There's no way you would walk that in 70 days. The mountains, the rivers that I've flown over and seen on all those countries, there's no way you could walk it in 70 days. No way. Again, please write down these people's names to fact check so that you will see this is all in Africa. Those are the countries today, the names: Namibia, Botswana, South Africa. Yes, this video will be up for a while. I'm going to keep it up as long as they keep it up. Please check out the people's names and the year. Do the fact check yourself. You know, I know there's some haters and trolls. Just do the fact check. Call these people's names up, call the map up, the year, and you go check it out. These are maps that are in libraries. These are accessible, but see, we're too ignorant to go fact check. And the doubters don't want to go fact check because they are too afraid of the truth. And many people who may say, well, they're afraid of the truth, they won't go check it out. I don't. We got to get to a place, family, where we have to fact check. We've been indoctrinated for so long. We've been bamboozled that when somebody can show you the proof right in your face and you are so blind, you ignore it. That's why I said, not all things are meant for you to digest. Not all things are meant for you at this moment in time. Just consider the information. And then as time goes on, dots will be connected to your truth. A lot of you all don't have that liberty like I do to travel in different countries and go seek. So, with my limited time that I have, I can't show everything that I come across. I can't videotape everything that I come across. There's some museums don't even allow you to go in and to videotape. There's things I wanted to capture, and there's just some place they will not let you record.
Deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I touch the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings.
George Bacon, 1900. This is a map that he did. Go check it out. You can call the names up on the internet. Go check out the map. There's many of these that got names on them. Write them down and do your research. And then you come to your conclusion. All I'm doing is giving you information, you know. Not every man's going to believe. So you see Jericho, Hebron, Pretoria right there, still there exists. Johannesburg. Yeah, you should question everything. But you not just question, you should research everything. We want to just question and doubt. And some others may even agree. I don't want nobody to agree with me. I want people to go ahead and check for yourself so you can have your truth, so you're equipped with your knowledge. Because history shows, and it's proven, that the Europeans have gone around the globe and changed up many things. As example, America wasn't called America. All these countries were changed by most of these Europeans that went around colonizing and enslaving people around the globe. Come the whitewash. Here comes the whitewash. You definitely had wars in South Africa, the BRICS against the Boers, and you had it was I think another country that came in. They were definitely fighting over trying to position in South Africa. Up means south, down means north, if anybody understands that. When you're in mountainous areas and the waters create rivers that flow downward, you always go up when you're going against the river. So when people misunderstand, when you talk about like whether even is in Egypt, because the Nile flows north, one of the few rivers that flow north, but they will call Upper Egypt would be north of Egypt, and Lower Egypt, excuse me, Upper Egypt is south, but Lower Egypt was north because of the flow of the river. So whether you talk about the heights of mountains, the directions of mountains, or the flow of rivers would dictate. So we think in north might mean one direction and south mean another, but you got to understand it the opposite way in how our ancestors saw things and what they would call upper and lower. State of Israel was created in 1948 by the UN to include the push by America. Again, please write down these people's names and the year. Go fact check it for yourself. See these maps and why they don't exist anymore, why they changed them out. You have to remember that Africa wasn't colonized until 1890 something. So maps that were before, one would say, well, maybe they came and just put names in there like that. No, these were names that were there way before. We've already showed you some older maps. I'm reading the comments, family. I appreciate you all. Thank you for your
The heart
blessings.
is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings.
No, there's no link. If you want to, I'm gonna play this whole thing so you can come back to it. But the I can put the link in the chat. I'm not the link. I can give the name of it though. This came off of another channel. What do you guys think so far in what you're seeing? Is it coincidence? Is it just by chance or by accident that Africa got these names here? The majority of these names in South Africa. From all what you've seen, what is your thoughts? Winan says, I have a feeling Israel is in Africa. It is. When you look at how much we've taken a beating as people, why are we still attacked today, despised, hated? Why are we still? I mean, they control everything. They got all the money and they want more and still want to press on us. Have you considered that is the scriptures real in what it said about the curses? I mean, to me, it's very interesting when you read the curses in the Bible. If you just follow God or be obedient, that these curses will not come upon you. But if you do, these are what happen. And everything it mentions does not even relate to the Europeans. We've experienced that. We've experienced all those curses being scattered around the globe. Every country I've been to, I've seen Africans and I've spoken to them. I say, how you live here? Oh, we've been here for years, our family. Years. And so, and they find us everywhere we go. You saw in the beginning of this video where Bishop Nathaniel, he was showing when we got kicked out of a lot of the northern plain countries that we used to live in because we wouldn't follow their religion. So they expelled us. And so you find very little of us. But when you really go into, see, I lived over in Europe, I lived in Turkey, I lived in Saudi Arabia, I've been to a lot of these countries, in these regions. I was just in Israel this year. Y'all saw some of the videos that I've done. I talked to the locals. I even talked to a sheikh who is a part of the Ishmaelites. You don't hear nothing about the Ishmaelites. Y'all remember Ishmael, that was Abraham's his son that he had from his handmaid. Y'all remember that? Well, there are Ishmaelites that exist from his lineage that they said they would, even the scripture said that he would be blessed if they would just follow and believe in the Most High. So you got many of the Ishmaelites that are there in the Israel area. It's just many people, as the scripture says, that around these countries, they've lost their identity, they've lost where they come from. You got people in South America, Mexico, don't even know they're African. They've been there for so long. They don't even know. Some don't even know they were slaves. You got the Guinea people, the New Guinea people on the island. You got in Australia, you got the Aborigines that are there. You got the what they call the Negroes, the Negroes in Philippines, all in Asia. You got the Black Indians in south of India. We're scattered. We are scattered. How to think about this, as it was saying earlier, the biggest continent that is, and yet, how is like this small little spot called Israel is suiting for the children of Israel, the land of milk and honey. When I'm there, I don't see the land of milk and honey. Though they grow food and stuff, it's in the desert atmosphere. It does not compare to the grandeur and beauty of Africa. No way, hands down, all what Africa has. Africa is a paradise. To compare to Israel, it sits out there in the middle of a desert. And they say that, oh, this is what, I don't see it where God, would place his beloved apple of his eye people, the chosen, the peculiar people, in the grandeur of Africa. That would be the place I would put my children. But they created, because even the scriptures talk about, they was never supposed to reestablish a new Israel or a state or Jerusalem. They would never come back together, according to scripture, until the returning of the Most High. So my thing is, If that's the case, and it speaks of, then there will be a new Jerusalem and a new earth. But this is all man-made. We know how the Europeans have created things. We know in 1948, Israel was created. It was never there. They dug a hole in the ground and said, this is where Jesus was. This is where the battle between the Muslims and the Christians have been on the mount, and they have the dome of the rock that's there. They, to this day, when I was there this year, you got to show you Muslim. They got everything divided off. Muslims can't go over on the Christian side. Christians can't go on the Muslim side. And we already see the Palestinian war and the Palestinian-Israel war. Israel fighting against Palestinians. Palestinians trying to battle back against the Israelis. I mean, is this supposed to be the place of peace? But the scripture says there will always be wars and rumors of wars. There will never be no peace. Matter of fact, Christ said, I didn't come to bring peace. I came to bring a division. That means right. I came to bring righteousness that will cause division. Fathers against sons, mothers against daughters, in-laws against mother-in-laws against daughter-in-laws. This is what the scripture says. And yet, they keep talking. They've been talking peace talk since 1948, when it used to be the land of Palestinians. And then UN and America decided to put and squeeze Israel and squeeze and push those some of there's African Israelites that are still there to this day that we met. Check out my videos when I was there in Israel. They moved everybody out, and then they put the Ashkenazi and the Sephardic Jews from Europe, from Russia, from Germany. They came in. And as soon as Africans, the Ethiopians, because of course, we are just silly thinking that wherever they are, we got to go too. So they thinking that, that must be the land of Israel. We're down here and we want to come to the land of Israel. We're being persecuted here because there was a war going on in Ethiopia in the 90s. So they had Operation Moses. They had Operation Solomon, and flew some of the Ethiopians there to Israel. And they've been experiencing hell ever since. Look at their videos of the treatments of the Ethiopians up there in Israel. They've been marching just like in America, pleading and begging for rightful treatment, trying to be treated equal. If you're the original, how do you beg for somebody to be equal to them? This is the problem that we have. We always want to validate ourselves and try to reach the bar or the standard that they put, not knowing that our bar goes up to the Most High. Any man who walks in that, all shall be added to you. I had to learn this back when I was in my 20s. And I seen the blessings from the Most High when I decided to leave that evil life that I was living, that the world told me I was like. Whoremongering, fighting all the time, a drunkard, a whoremonger. My life was upside down. That's why when I tell people that when it came the day I was about to commit suicide, the only thing I knew that was in my spirit, I didn't go to no church, I wasn't reading no Bibles, I didn't know none of that stuff. All I said that came out of my mouth was, if there is a God, help me. From that day forward, when that presence came into my living room and hit me, a peace came upon me. I'm telling you, my mind was gone. I was ready to check out. This is the issues that many people have, because they keep saying, oh, the white man, you believing in the white man. Okay, well, you have your own belief. I'm not here to preach to nobody. I'm here just giving you information. But I notice right here, everywhere I look, where we are not following the Most High, you find the most devastating people. I'm not talking about their God either, because I keep having people ask me the question, well, why is it that, they're doing bad things, but they're blessed with, money and all that? Money, it has nothing to do with God. You can have all the money in the world and be poor in spirit. That's why I said, blessed are the poor in spirit. Look, money's easy to get when you start to follow the Most High, not cutting corners, you acting like putting on some garment, going to church, singing hallelujahs and playing gospel music. Look, God talked about that already in scripture. He's sick and tired of people up here giving these fake praises and acting like they holy when they know their hearts are wrong and sinful. And we being the chosen, the original, we're supposed to be the example for the world. But because of we don't follow, what happens? You see, those other people who got the money and evil and doing slavery, they got their reward. But ours rewards, we get the crowns and all that right there. We can get it now and live a prosperous, happy life, or we can sit back and do nothing and continue to cry in our mud. This is facts. Try it. My thing was, I didn't believe it. Because I keeps it real with people. I tell people right here, I already know the scripture's been tainted by the white people. But you got to know how to navigate through it. And when you realize you put yourself in the position and read it and study it and compare to how it says who is who, the truth's got to stand out. But here's the problem that I found out. Probably 95% of the people who don't believe in God ain't never tried God. And those people who claim to be these other names of Christians and these titles and these Baptists and Presbyterians and these kind of, they don't even read. They don't even know. They're zombies that go to some cathedral, some church, and put on a show, acting to be as such, but they don't even live the life. I don't know about y'all, but I know this right here. The day that the presence of the Most High hit me, my life ain't never been the same. People talk about money and thinking money is blessings. Look, money comes to you when you walk in righteousness, not cutting corners of life. It is amazing how, easy, if you talk, money is the easiest thing. That's easy. But see, I know, because I used to be there starting out. You want to cut corners, thinking that this little lie, going out here cheating on your spouse, maybe ain't gonna hurt. Being a little corrupt ain't gonna hurt. Oh, it does. And you'll never know why, or you gonna find out why you keep failing. Some of y'all got idols in your household. Some of y'all got these different juries and pictures in your house. These are all idols. You still find idol worship in Africa. People still believe in these various things. And I can sit down with somebody who professed to be a follower of God, and I can look at their life, and they scream like they're poor, but they've been faithful, and I can point out to them what their problem is. I remember distinctly the Spirit telling me, you have idols in your house. And I was like, idols? I used to be a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I had the big head posters on the walls. I had the jerseys, the clothes. I had it all over my house, the flags in my man cave. I had it in my barbershops. And the Spirit said, take it down. Throw it all away. It's corrupted you. It's gotten away. You know how hard that was for me? Do you know how hard that was for me? Do you know when I had mess loads of CDs of music, and when I heard the Spirit say, throw it all away? I remember, I'll be honest with you, I took all those CDs and put it out in the trash. I went back in there to get the collective. I remember I had the Michael Jackson collections. I had the Mary J. Blige collections. I had all the sequels of all those, and those ones I thought was just okay. I'll just hold on to these. And what happened? Okay, well, you continue on with your idols. But the question of it is that now you wondering when you have hiccups, is this in the way of my life flowing? Not to say your life don't have issues, but I'm saying that I had to find most of my issues was self-inflicted. Most of my problems came from me, not from things that were unseen. See, life throw you unforeseen situations. We already know people gonna die. We know that, things might happen to where, it's just part of life. But be honest with you, once I got rid of those idols out of my house, I'm telling y'all, I mean, really what's come up upon me. Why is it that Europe has all of the artifacts out of Africa? Why does Europe have taken, in America, taken the animals and put them in zoos and placed them around worlds? And then you thinking those animals belong there, but all the animals come out of Africa, majority of them. Man has carried around animals on ships, on planes, now modern day planes, but we're talking about when you really look at Africa and what it has. When you get to Africa and you see, oh my gosh, when you see the mountain range, you see the waterfalls, you see the forest, you see the lakes, it is breathtaking. If you haven't been to Egypt to see from the top of Cairo all the way down to Abu Simbel near Sudan, just the history of the temples and the pyramids. Look, Sudan has more pyramids than Cairo or Egypt, period. When I was over in the island just last month over in Mauritius. They got pyramids. I said, what is that? How old is that? Man, the history Africa has. And what did the West do? They came to rob, rape, and pillage it. And still here, taking the resources out of the soil. The richest continent in the world. And the land of milk and honey is sitting over there where they say Israel is. Well, they can have Israel. We don't need to flee to know Israel. We don't need to follow them. We sitting on the greatest continent that was given. The Garden of Eden's here. The richest soil that if our people would just realize what it has, all Africans could be rich. But because of the greed, those who've been manipulated by the West, those who's got that devil spirit in them now, they don't care nothing about their people. We got the oil, the diamonds, the gold, the cobalt, we got all of it. We got everything. And yet we don't even know how to put it together so everybody can win. Everything is here in Africa. We've been so used to the continents that we've lived in, the countries we lived in, and that's all we know. I mean, I feel it. I mean, I'm with you. That used to be me. You know, I was bought in. I was sold out. I used to coon. I did. I can admit it. When you be indoctrinated and you believe that you American, you believe you're native to the land, some people were. I'm not going to argue against those who they were native to the land, but they still came from Africa. When I was down in South Africa and I look at the Zulu tribe, when I looked at some of the other people, I said, man, these look like native Indians.
Search the heart, and try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways, and according to the fruit of his doings.
I saw the headpieces. I said, this is nothing but for the native Indians' headpieces. The garments. I said, man, this is crazy. You know, it's when you really see how we've all been migrated, scattered across the globe, all the little bits and pieces that you can connect to trace you back in history. Who's been here watching this since the beginning? We got 30 minutes left. You know, we have to get to a place, family, that we have to, you know, no, it doesn't matter where you live. You know, it doesn't matter where you live. But the question of it is that when you've exhausted yourself in a system and believed a lie for so long, and when you look up at the end of your days, you wonder, how would my life would have been had I known the truth? You know, the interesting thing is that how do you put faith in someone who has gone around and changed up the story? I mean, I understand we are only limited by the stories they told us, the books that they put in front of us, the books that were approved to put in front of us to read, that now we argue against each other over information. I don't tongue wrestle over information, because your information, my information, there's a lot of contradictory information out there. There's a lot of fake information out there. And so we have to at least admit that if you're going to argue over information, I mean, how where does it get you? That's what we do. We debate and argue over information. And the sad part is that many of us, the little information that we all have in our pea brains, we act like we're scholars. But when somebody introduces you and say, check this out, if it ain't coming from them, you say, oh, it ain't true. But this is coming from them. Like I said, these names that you see in the corners and the years, check them out. These are maps that these people have done from different countries, have come in, those so-called searchers. I'm just saying that, sometimes we need to um, go a little further. We can go on vacations just to go down to, some island and sit back and drink Mai Tais. And then, and yet we'll have battle with, tongue wrestling over information that you could have went and researched yourself. I mean, I think that, getting to know the truth, I visited all 50 states. Visiting all 50 states, me and my wife, we went on all the trails of the Underground Railroad. We went to so many states checking out the native story. We went all the way up to Alaska. We went into Alaska. We went on all the different trails, all the different stories and journeys of the native people as well as the African people. And got books my wife done to prove it. I've shown it on videos before. Everywhere we go, my wife makes books. She takes thousands of pictures. She writes in what we learn. We have so much, and we got a library of her books. You see, sometimes people read books to gain history, learn about history. I get it. I understand it. That's good. That's part of the thing. But a lot of people don't go on their own journey to find out for themselves. You see, they've gone around this world and created countries and changed names, and we think it because we only been living on this earth for so long. But there are those who already know the truth because they've been passed down in their books. They've got them hidden in the cathedrals. They got them hidden over in their synagogues and in their private places. Ethiopia, they say they got the Ark of the Covenant. They got it protected 24/7 in Ethiopia. The Ark of the Covenant that you read in the Bible. They say they got the real Ark of the Covenant. I'll be going back to Ethiopia. I think I'll be flying out tonight, and I'll be headed over to another country. I won't disclose that until I get there. But and I think next week I already reached out to one of my contacts. Hopefully he'll reach me back. I want to go ahead and re-enter into Ethiopia because I want to dive into their Bibles that are the oldest. And I'm going to compare it to what we read. I'm going to pull out some scriptures and some names, and we are going to dissect what theirs compared to what we read. Do Do yourself a favor. I've done this before. Go to any Bible and compare it to another Bible and look up some verses, especially if it talks about black. Especially if you can use the King James Version, look up black, you'll see when it starts to talk about people's skin color, what have you. Or and then look at other Bibles where it's disappeared. Or look up, you can just look up how they've changed different things. There's hundreds of different versions of the Bible that man has changed over the years. School of, what you say? School of skills. Where is the archaeological records to support this? What you mean? These are maps. These are in libraries. Support it. I've said, look at these names on the corners of the screens when they show the maps and the date, and you do the research. These are in libraries. Jay Johnson says nobody's allowed in the temple to verify the ark is there. I wouldn't let nobody in there either. Every time we show a European something, they take it. There will be a war created to get it. I wouldn't let them in either. I wouldn't show, no need to show it. I don't need to believe whether it's in there or not. It ain't gonna get me nowhere. Let's not forget, family, you do your research and check. They wanted to put Israel in Kenya. Let me say that again. Before they had the land of Israel, before 1948, they were thinking about putting Israel in Kenya instead of where we know it today. Let me get some information on that right there. This is why South Africa wound up taking all the land. The Europeans took all the land in South Africa. You know, is it possible that they wanted to get these areas, dig to see if there's anything, and then hide it? Because remember, in 1948, they created the land Israel, and then just a few days or week later, they wind up creating apartheid and taking the land. I mean, not taking the land, but separating the people and putting them. When I was there, they got areas just for blacks, and they broke up the people by color, like they typically do, and divided them up and put them in different areas. Removed them away from their homes and put them on different places. So, is it possible these named areas that we see that's in the Bible, they wanted to get their hands on? They want to remove the people. They have to hide this information. They got to ship it out of the country, because if this is truly the Israel is the true place in South Africa, then it could make sense then that why this whole rush to take the land, separate the people, put them on different spots of land so they can have and go and pillage the areas and clean up or whitewash the areas so that now Israel be the new Israel, which you can't find nothing there in Israel. They claim that they have the temples, destroyed temples, but they can't find it. They say they only got some torn down bricks or what have you. But there's no history. Out of all that went on there in the wars, why isn't this stuff surfaced? You know, they talk about how the 10 tribes was north
The heart is
of Israel.
above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings.
You know, they said that 10 tribes of Israel was in the north plain of it, and in the south was 2 tribes of Israel. And as wars gone, they scattered. Now, they say, now, where did the 10 tribes of north go? Now, if they scattered, how would that be then that if they was in Israel, that means then you're saying 10 tribes then were Europeans probably, or were they just all of us and they were just scattered or whatever? But think about it this way. What if Israel, according to this right here, this information, these maps and these books, that the 10 north tribes scattered further north all the way into other places? Why every city you go to in America, black folks live on the south side of town? All right, family. Let me know what y'all think. You know, how many y'all stood through that, all that there? I'm quite sure we had a lot of people coming out. People are busy, got to work, got to do this and that. How many people was here since the beginning? of the video. Let me see how many people were here since the beginning when I started. Just one mean yes. Yeah, thank you. You know, like I said before, family, look, I don't know why, but I guess you just got naysayers and haters. I've said this once, I'll say this again. You know, I interviewed Ron Dalton the other day. Check out that interview if you didn't see it. The brother who is the author of the Hebrews to Negroes, um, the whole thing that happened with Kyrie, him tweeting that the link, giving a link to the movie or the